Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Jackie Estacado has shit his pants. Let me back up a bit. Jackie Estacado turned 21, and some black demon spaghetti popped out of his body, gave him a good scare, and Jackie Estacado just straight up shit his pants on the spot. They never come out and explicitly say he shit his pants, but they heavily imply it by the way he walks like a man who just shit his pants and knows he shit his pants and can't really do anything about it. There were a million ways I could have started this video, and I chose 6 fart jokes in a row. The hell with it! I'm in too deep now! Other than the fact that you walk infuriatingly slow for the entire game, The Darkness is perhaps one of the most surprising revisits I've played in a while. I did not expect this one to hold up. I remember enjoying it at the time, around 2007, and thought it was a worthy follow-up to Starbreezes' previous game, The Chronicles of Riddick, but FPSs have come a hell of a long way in 12 years, yet somehow The Darkness just kind of beat the odds. Again, you play as a pants full of shit named Jackie Estacado, who, on his 21st birthday, is essentially possessed by a demon known as the Darkness.
I see him!
Through you, I will display my power. Through you, I am born.
Alright, right off the bat here, did you guys notice anything weird about that scene? Because I sure did. Jackie is not a silent protagonist. He isn't. Yet, at the moment this darkness thing reveals itself with this scary black spaghetti monster coming out of his back, he says nothing. Nothing. Not even an uh-oh. You can be guaranteed if I wake up one day and black spaghetti monster is shooting out of my back, at the very least I am screaming, uh-oh. Look, I'm gonna fix that scene right now, least amount of effort possible. Watch.
Through you, I am born.
Uh-oh! Anyway, as it turns out, the darkness powers might not be so bad for Jackie, considering his uncle just tried to kill him with a closet bomb?
I've been very generous to you, Jackie. In fact, I got a surprise for you. On your birthday. It's in the closet. Have a blast.
Obviously, with the darkness on his side, Jackie brushes that explosion off, gets up, loads his guns, and heads on over to his girlfriend's house so she could wish him a happy birthday.
Jackie! Oh my god.
You know what my favorite thing about Jenny is? How she's just alive, you know? She's alive and breathing oxygen and walking around like us normal. Oh! That's darkness. That's dark. Now off to killing bad guys. When you kill baddies, you can eat their hearts, which is just essentially experience points, since the more you eat, the more powers you'll unlock. It starts simple enough, like being able to control one of the demon spaghettis and slither around on the floor, and then you get a pair of darkness guns, the ability to spear suckers with your al dente demon spaghetti arm, and then eventually a friggin' black hole. They make switching and using the powers quick and easy, and they're all a blast to use. I mean, getting away one doofus with dual-wielding pistols while grabbing another idiot with your piercer arm never gets old. The weapon handling is finicky though. The reticle has a mind of its own. They add a fair bit of aim assist to try and compensate, and with some tweaking you can get it to feel okay, but just don't expect a miracle. What did surprise me, other than the great soundtrack, are the graphics. I'm playing this on an Xbox 360, a 12-year-old game, and it still looks really nice. I mean, textures won't hold up close, but just look at this. This is still a great looking game with a ton of atmosphere. Just don't look at any of the character models up close like that. Oh my god! Now I've shit my pants too! They all look like they shit their pants. Alright, the subway looks appropriately nasty, the streets and buildings look Gotham-y, and although the engine couldn't really handle large spaces, and because of this everything kind of feels artificially walled off, it still works, mostly because of the detail. The only part of the game that doesn't hold up graphically are the World War I sections. Jackie finds himself in hell for reasons they kind of explain, and his hell is World War I. And while it's probably some of the seriously most f***ed up parts of the game, it just looks muddy and grainy and foggy and just ugly. It's not a terribly long game, it's 7 to 9 hours, but they give you just enough variety to keep things fresh and moving. You'll find random people around the game who request your help, and these side missions can range from helping an old lady find her bracelet to finding the location of a snitch and taking him out. Since the game doesn't have a mini-map or objective markers of any kind, it's up to you to find the location of these missions yourself. Oftentimes, getting to a mission requires you to hop on the subway, get off at a specific stop, exit to a specific street, and then figure it out from there. It's actually not as annoying as it sounds, since the objective screen will usually spell it out for you, but it can lead to a few instances of running around in a circle trying to figure out where you're supposed to go next. Now, I can't speak for the comics the game is based on since I've never actually read them, but the game's story and tone are definitely early to mid-2000s. I mean, look at this. Jackie walks around with long black hair and a big black trench coat for the entire game. And while he's voiced really well and passionately enough, it's just a lot sillier now than it probably was in 2007.
End of story. Except I'm not the one lining up for the last rites. It's my loving Uncle Paulie. He knows the end of the story as well as I do, but he don't like it as much. You know what I say to that? Fuck 'em.
It feels like the story was an afterthought, and not a lot of care was put into piecing together a good narrative to follow Jackie through. And the ending is flashy, but just predictable. It's almost as if they didn't know how to end it or were just rushed to get it out the door. Regardless, the journey is still fun and well worth the time. There's a sequel that came out in 2012 that was way better than anyone could have expected, considering it was handled by a completely different studio, but actually, now that I think about it, that studio was Digital Extreme, so maybe it wasn't that surprising after all. Anyway, this one is super cheap nowadays and still well worth a play if you have the time. It doesn't all hold up to modern scrutiny, but I still had a blast seeing Jackie, Poopy Pants Estacato's journey from mob hitman to feared wielder of spaghetti demons.
I was poking around, the Lower East Side, as I am wont to do. Yes, my husband Harry's always teasing me. Well, anyway, then I went by the harbor a few hours ago, and the wind is just picking up.
We're all in the line of fire. Last night I heard the forces amassing nearby.
Definitely. There is something going on with the weather. It is weird for this time of year.